All right, we're here looking at NASDAQ. And as y'all know, we've been trading NAS for a minute. It's been blessing us this entire time. Price has been respecting this whole entire accumulation schematic for a minute. And, we had price come into the zone January 26th, and it flew for over, 900, almost 1,000 points. And after that took off, a few people actually missed this trade, which is fine because once we, created some more structure, we saw this inefficiency in the market, right? We had this massive push to the upside. We ended up breaking structure and pushing very aggressively to the upside. So this was a key area where price could eventually come back and mitigate, retest, and continue to the upside. And as we see here, price came back not once but twice. Right, it came down there during FOMC yesterday, and then it came back down again this morning, right before New York session started. Gave us one last opportunity to enter the market if you missed the initial trade. And the second opportunity, actually, we ended up breaking structure to the upside. So that's super significant. That's extremely important, right? If you're in the chat, if you're in the group, you should be up minimum 300, minimum 300 points just off this trade alone. If you took profit at the highs, maybe you're conservative, still 300 minimum just off this trade alone. All you got to do is set your buy limits and just let it play out. Target the highs. You're good to go. You're good to go. Now we're inside of this gap. This gap opened up essentially on market open on Sunday, 3 p.m. Pacific time. We immediately sold off. Price immediately gapped down. But when it gapped down, it sold off back to the buy zone. Right, 20,800. That's a reference number, right? It came right back down. Right, we sold off, came right back down there. So we've been holding this structure for a minute, and we actually broke structure to the upside. And as we zoom closer and see what's actually happening, I want to find out if you have some accumulation or some distribution going on up in here. All right, we do have some accumulation happening. We have some, right, we have a low, the high. We end up sweeping that wick, which is the lows, and then we eventually break above the highs right in there. So if we do come back to this area, retest wouldn't be bad. Even if you drew the Fibonacci, let's say from these lows to the highs, 50% would be exactly at the retest. If you want to use these lows instead, very similar. You see how price is already reacting. So we'll see what happens, right? We do have some minor distribution. Right? If you want to get super technical, we got some distribution here. We broke beneath these lows here, right? Price full body candle to close. Never got a clean retest. We have some imbalance up here. So we'll see what they want to do. This is a 5-minute chart, so I'm not going to be too pressed about any type of lower time frame distribution. If I don't see distribution on like the daily, I'm not going to be too concerned about it, right? And even when price taps into this huge gap right here, we came back, we tap into it with this wick. We actually didn't break structure to the downside, like significant structure. We didn't break any of these previous daily lows. If we're looking at the daily, time frame, we at least would have to break below a previous day low. Haven't even done that, even after tapping into this gap. So that gives me even more confidence that, sellers are not even that strong. You can't even break the previous daily low. So what are we talking about? Right, buyers are still busting. We're still breaking structure to the upside. US 30, bro. US 30 is looking nice. Right, is right there at all-time highs, literally all-time highs once again. So, and we're right here, and as we approach, we just keep getting more signs of accumulation. We keep breaking structure to the upside, right? We broke these highs right in there. We retested twice, continued to take off. We broke some more structure here. And this is in the daily time frame, right? This is the daily time frame. We're not breaking any daily lows. This one you probably could have argued right at one point, but we ended up closing up here, so we're good. We just came beneath all these lows to sweep liquidity and even, you know, fill in some of this imbalance and possibly try and retest this structure, right? So we had to sweep 3 days of liquidity. Right, everyone's getting in FOMO trades, just pressing buy with no confirmation, just getting in. Oh, it's going up. Let me just buy randomly, right? But then the market said, "Hold on, let me clear you out. Let me clear you out real quick," and then it goes, right? So be mindful of that. US 30 is literally about to smack all-time highs. Hopefully this week. I mean, tomorrow's Friday. Let's see what happens at the end of the week. Do we break all-time highs, or do we just do a massive end of the week take profit sell off? You know, are people gonna take profit and the market sells off, or are we gonna just be abundant and just bust through and start making some new structure? We're gonna find out. SPX, very similar situation. We had actually, you know, broke above, you know, some of these all-time highs, the previous all-time highs. We actually broke above and then gapped down. So if anything, SPX is more bullish than all of them, right? Here's some structure that we were struggling to break above on the daily, but as you see, we gapped above it. Right, we just demolished the structure. It was so much buying pressure that they just blew past it. Right, so this looks good as well. We're gonna see what they want to do leading into tomorrow with SPX, Bitcoin as well, holding on very nice to structure. Again, this was a pretty significant area to stack positions. There's so much accumulation happening here on smaller time frames. As you see with most recent price action, we are breaking more structure, right? We're breaking structure here as well. Clean retest. We broke more structure right in there. And as of now, price has been respecting this area. 100K, 99K, super solid. Easy buys. We're still in these buys on Bitcoin as well, right? 4,000 points to the upside. The big dog, Ethereum, still in Ethereum. You know, still holding all this drawdown right in here. I'm in these trades like up here. So we're just holding this drawdown essentially. We're slowly moving back to in profit. We haven't closed beneath any previous lows, right? As we see, we're just creating wicks. Let me go ahead and Marcus, you want to mute yourself real quick?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and then yeah, we're just not breaking below any previous lows, right? We're sweeping more liquidity as well, so still good. That's a good sign, right? If he would have closed with a full body candle beneath these lows, then I would have been, you know, kind of reserved about holding the trades, but because we didn't, to me that's just more fake outs, emotional damage, confusing people. They don't know what to do. But you just got to zoom out. I'm on the weekly chart. We're not actually violating any structure. We're just sweeping liquidity, so we're good. But we do have to break above these highs. All right, we at least got to break above. This is the most closest high, the recent high. So we got to break above this. And then once this candle closes in 2 days, whatever high it creates, we got to break above that one as well. So we'll see what happens on Ethereum, but so far so good. If you're still in there with me, be patient. Sometimes, you know, the trades may take a week, 2 weeks, a month to even play out. So we all know the market takes from the impatient and gives to the patient. XRP, bussing as well. I had so many people calling me, yo, Will, like, do I buy more? Do I do this? I'm like, well, it's too late now, my guy. Been telling you to buy XRP since the pandemic. Where you been? I don't want to hear it. All right. But it's up here. It's at all-time highs. At this point, we got to just wait for more structure to form. Either catch lower buys back down here in these areas, or wait for us to break new all-time highs and then give us some type of accumulation schematic where we have solid foundational proof that price actually does want to continue. and not just fake out and then sell off. So I'm super patient with XRP. I'm in no rush at all. Right? Maybe if you break above some of these highs in here, that'll give us another confirmation. But just gotta wait. Just gotta wait it out. And then let me see, gold. Golly, gold has literally already made new all-time highs again. It's just ruthless. Just ruthless. I'm gonna put it at 2,800 just to make it a whole number. But yeah, we're essentially approaching this whole level 2,800. As you see, we already essentially closed above previous all-time highs. Actually, this candle closes in the next 17 hours. What does the daily look like? The daily candle already did it. Daily candle already closed above previous highs. So that's a good confirmation. So if I were to, want to look for more gold buys, I would want to see at least some type of retest at one of these structures. Right, this is that order block, the last selling candle before that push to the upside. So that's a super clean area where price could retest, but it doesn't have to come back down here. It can retest anywhere. It can retest here as well. It can even retest right up here. We don't know which one, but if I were you, if I were to enter gold, I would have some buy limits, like at least down here, these bottom two. If you use your Fibonacci from, this is the start of the move to the highs, right? That 50% lines up perfectly with this imbalance. Super, super clean. If you want to use the lower portion, still same area, still good. So waiting for pullbacks on gold, waiting for pullbacks on crypto as well if you want to re-enter. But with Bitcoin, how it's looking, we might just blow past and keep pushing. Silver's playing games. It's still up. No, it's still up, but we're not even nowhere at the all-time highs. Like gold has already surpassed all-time highs and some. Silver needs to get it together. Can we hit $50 an ounce? Like, come on. It was good. It's still at 31. It's been here for, how long has this been? What is this range? It's been 1,820 days. Like, come on. Get it together. But that's just patience. That is extreme patience. The best buys would have been down here at this area. The liquidity, the sweep, break above, retest, gone. And this is the weekly time frame. This is just insane. Right? I don't really trade silver that much, and now you know why. That's just absolutely ridiculous. We should have already been past all-time highs, but there's rumors floating around that they've been artificially, suppressing, silver and gold and even XRP. That's why they're booming the way they are now. Oil, I'm still holding out for some entries in here. Right, this can be a huge play. I don't mind being patient with this one. Right, liquidity sweep, break above, got a retest, got another retest, another one there. So I want to catch the next one. We may sweep all these lows and then go. Who knows? I don't know. All we can do is wait for price action. Looking here, price can even respect the structure right there. I see that we just, came into this imbalance here. Price is giving a nasty rejection so far. So we shall see. Is this enough for price to continue or what? We're gonna find out. But this could continue. Not gonna lie. Like price could very well just continue from here and not even come back. We'll see. I'll pay close attention to it over the next few weeks, over the next few months, and see what happens. But if you do start to break some highs, then I'll most likely start to scale in. But if I miss this trade, I'll be kind of hurt. It is what it is. Euro USD, nasty work, is struggling to push up. I'm gonna stay away from this until I see more type of confirmation for buys. Like I want to see us break above, some highs to give us some solid foundation. Right, boom, the sweep. We need that. That'll really confirm it. That'll really confirm it. Otherwise, I don't mind just staying away from that, letting it work. But that's essentially what's happening. I mean, look at NASDAQ. Look at this weekly candle. Nasty rejection. Like, I'm not going against that. No thanks. No thank you. Any questions you guys have? Any charts you're looking at? Any trades that you're in? Anything you want to go over? I'll stay on for the next few minutes. CHF, JPY. I got you. Oh, Wanda. Very bullish. This thing's gone to the moon. Major breakout structure. Right there, we broke structure, retested. Let me see. Boom, broke some structure here. No retest. Broke some structure here. So since we broke this structure, this is the closest low that we would have to not violate if price truly broke the structure and wants to use this as the new floor to continue higher. We would have to respect these lows. As long as we don't close with the full body candle beneath here, we should still be good to continue. If not, we get the full body close, then we can expect some lower prices. But this is the 12-month time frame. So this is let me go to the monthly real quick. Monthly, let's see, we are still breaking more structure to the upside. Let's look at the weekly. Everything disappeared, but I do see so much accumulation here. Like so much. I see these highs, nasty buys right there, right? Liquidity, sweep, break above, retest, another retest, another retest, possibly another retest. But this whole area is valid for buys just off this structure alone. I'm not even going to dive deeper because we haven't even violated any lows. A stop loss would be like here, or even any one of these lows over here, because technically even this counts as an entry, right? We broke this structure right there. These lows would have been your stop loss at that point. So this is good. So yeah, this is very strong structure. So I'd be looking at this for when I trade that. Crude oil. Crude oil. I believe I just went over that. I went over oil already. Same thing. Yeah. I didn't dive too deep into it. Only because I'm not really gonna scalp oil too much. But if you really took the sells from like last week, you're up. It just came back to fill this imbalance right in there. So if you would have took some buys, if I were to buy, it would have been here. Very low risk. Would have gotten some buys there. You could have had your stop loss like beneath in these lows right in there, but this was a good area to be buying in. Now, if you do break above, these most recent highs, that'll give us a confirmation. Yeah, if you bought here this morning, you should be good. The next step is to see if we break these highs. Once we do that, that lets you know you can actually keep holding these trades because price is giving you some type of bullish confirmation. So, yeah, I'd be looking for that next. If you don't break the highs, then, it is what it is. I don't know why my lines always disappear. I always got to go in here and fix it. Current interval and below. Boom. There it is. But yeah, that's a solid place to buy. You got some good buys in there. I see more accumulation here. Boom. Sweep. Break above. Retest. And then gone. Flew. Came back. Flew again. So these are all textbook. Super clean structure. super clean setups. Like when people say, "Oh, I can't trade that," or "I don't trade this," I know they don't know structure. Because if you know structure, you can trade anything. Because it's all structure. There's no different. If I give you a chart and I took off the time frames and I took off the name of the asset, you would still mark it up the same way, or you should be. So you can't really say, oh, I can't trade that, or I can't trade. Like, you can, but it's your limiting beliefs. You keep telling yourself you can't. If you tell yourself you can, you can. If you tell yourself you can't, you can. So what are you telling yourself, especially in trading? I hope it's all positive information. I hope it is more of I can and I will, not I can't, because this is not for the weak. This is not for the weak. But yeah, shout out to you guys. I see y'all plugging in. I see y'all, taking these trades. Everyone is literally up right now. I love to see it. If you're not up, we gotta have a side conversation, because there's no way you're not up and in this chat unless you're just completely ignoring all the setups. I'm giving you guys textbook plays, easy money, free money. It's 2025. Gotta lock in, for real.
Question, Will.
Yeah.
So I understand how you would essentially take entries on pullbacks for, like, say, for example, in industry that on the longer time frame, on the higher time frame, right, is essentially going up. So how would you trade something like oil for, say, you want to hold a position for weeks on end?
The same way I approach everything. The same thing. If you want to trade anything on weeks on end, you have to first find the higher time frame structure, which, let me go to oil real quick. For me, is this. I'm on the monthly time frame. This is the higher time frame structure. I want to catch plays. Let me just move this out the way so you guys see the number. I think it was like 65. I want to catch a play in between $65 a barrel and $50 a barrel. Why? Because this is essentially the accumulation, sweep, break above. So I want that retest in here. So if I were to, want to hold a trade for weeks and months, I would want to allow price to come into the higher time frame zone first. Once price hits $65 a barrel, once it hits this level, then I'm going to go down and zoom in, let's say, for instance, this area where price hits it. Then I'll go down to like the weekly, and then the daily, and then the 1 hour, and see, okay, are we getting accumulation? Like, now that price has hit the zone that we found that was interesting to us based off the structure, I'm going to go down to a smaller time frame and ask myself, are we getting accumulation inside of this zone that I want to buy in, or are we getting distribution? If we're getting distribution, I'm going to wait until I see accumulation. And once I see that accumulation, I'll take those trades on like the 15-minute, the 1 hour, 4 hour daily. And then I'll just watch. I'll pretty much let price play out. Just let it play out. And if it breaks highs and confirms that it wants to keep going bullish, then yeah. And if not, maybe it wants to go lower. But it's always going to be the same approach on every chart. Everything, the same exact thing. I hope that answers your question. If it doesn't, maybe I can explain it.
Yeah, no, that actually does answer it. I guess perhaps because it seems like let's assume that everything is slowly going up, right? Then short, say for example, you want to hold like a short position, you would want to be more attentive to the position, just making sure that price is going in your direction.
Yeah, I mean, if you're ever going against going against the trend, your risk management, yeah, if you're gonna counter trend trade, you have to be extremely attentive. You have to have your alert set up, your stop losses on point. You have to be like very on top of it, because price can literally reverse at any time on you. Oil, you may be a little bit more safer in oil, because it's still giving you like that uptrend, vibe. Right, 50% is literally right here at the $65. But it's still overall like very janky. It's not like really giving you a long term uptrend or a long term downtrend. It's just in a box.
Exactly. That's what kind of got me confused when looking at it from like that time frame you got right there, the monthly.
Yeah, but to help you out, we did break the structure here.
I do see the distribution and then the accumulation right there.
You mean like right here, distribution?
Right. So like to the left right there, with essentially the setup, but upside down.
Somewhere down here or here?
Yeah. So like the big top, the big triangle.
The
Yeah, right
big
there.
top. Yeah.
So that manipulation,
Yep.
the spring downward.
Yep. So yeah, so it did give you some distribution, but now currently with like current price action, what's happening? Yes, you want to look left to get right, but don't let the left side prevent you from understanding what's happening with the price currently. And currently, what we see is massive, massive accumulation, right? This is liquidity. All this is liquidity, sweep, break above. This is a massive drawn out play. Like these are the lows that were swept right here, these lows, that wick, and then we broke above these highs. So this alone is accumulation. This whole area is accumulation. Yes, we have some distribution over here, but that's like old news. That's like from 2007. Right? It's cool. It's good to have it marked up and see it, but like what's happening like today? Right? So many times I've gotten caught up in trying to take trades that like I'll show you an example. This is why I don't counter trade anymore. I literally I literally tested my strategy like in real time. I tested myself heavily with this. I don't think you guys understand the amount of back testing I've done and that I still do to this day. Like literally a crackhead. But I was so focused looking at NASDAQ at this distribution. I was like, oh, we have a distribution. We have a high, low. We broke above and we broke below. And then, we sold off again. Okay. So as price was working its way up, I was so focused on this structure. I had all my markups. I was like, yeah, we got the stop loss here at the top, right? It's the sell zone is going to be somewhere in this area. So when we got over here, I'm so busy trying to sell because of what I see on the left that I was losing focus of what's happening here. And because of that, you see, price is gone. Price is gone. But if I would have focused on what was actually happening with current price action, we have clear accumulation, like working its way up the entire time. Boom, sweep, break above, more accumulation here, sweep, break above, more accumulation here, sweep, break above. Like that's just clear as day. But then I'm over here looking at this distribution. Oh, but I want to catch the sell. Oh, but it's like you can, but then like what's happening currently? And yeah, that's why I trade things like this. I just go up forever. I'm not gonna waste my time really trading things that don't have a true trend. I want to make it as easy as possible. Like trading is already hard. Like drop a 1 in the chat if you think trading is hard. Yeah. Yeah. So if trading is already hard enough, I'm not gonna make it harder. I'm not gonna make it harder. I'm not gonna overthink it. I'm not gonna get a headache trying to like find out all these different scenarios and what if this happens? What if like no? What is happening right now? What is literally happening right now? I can tell you right now that thought pattern alone is game changer for me. It's literally changed the game. Just focus on what's happening now. Focus on current structure. Like what is currently happening. Boom. All right. Yes, you may see something over here. Cool. It may be respected. You never know. You never know. Even this, even with NAS right now, we have all this to the left. The market don't look in the past and get sad. Facts. Facts. We have all this distribution. We have what is this? High. We sweep. We broke below. But I'm not worried about that. Why? Because this is an uptrend. We're uptrending. So that's cool. Price has to do that in order to sell off, even here. This was major. This was major. We had boom, break above, broke below, distribution. We got the retest, sold off. Retest again, sold off. But I'm not gonna, continue to take sells when I see accumulation, right? Not gonna lie though, I did get clapped right here on these buys. When price came here, I was like, okay, we're in profit, and then boom, clapped me hard. But we had lower entries down here as well, which is good. Or we had this liquidity sweep, break above. So this was a nice retest, but I did get kind of messed up here first. I was like, oof, hold on, let me regroup. Came back later on, got in again, and you see that this was a setup previously. And sometimes the setup needs to get cooked. Like this was a setup that got cooked. You got stop loss, full body candle close and everything. Like you're done. But there was another setup right beneath it. All right, so yeah, you may get one setup that gets cooked, but then you may have one right beneath it. So, don't get got. Hope that makes sense. Hope that kind of makes sense, kind of answers your question a little bit more. And look,
So I believe so, right? Yeah, because essentially the way we frame our trades is just based off of the most recent price action. I guess my question was more specifically like, because it's easy to tell the trend, like the long term trend on like the SPX, the NASDAQ, the Dow Jones, but something perhaps like Forex, for example, if you look at the 12-month chart on some of these pairs, like it'll be, it's not going up, but it'll be like a W or like an M pattern.
yeah, if you trade anything that doesn't have a definite trend, then you have to take both trades. You got to take the buys and the sells. So if you see accumulation, take the buys. If you see distribution, take the sells. But personally, I wouldn't even waste my time trading those. Like,
Right.
why would you even trade that?
Yeah.
You
I think that's probably like your edge, don't you think?
maybe it just makes sense. Like, why would I trade something that doesn't have a definite trend? Like, I'm like, you're
Right.
like purposely trying to make trading even harder than it already is. But I would say for the most part, like most pairs have a trend. Like, I don't. I think oil is probably like the only one. Let me
Yeah,
see.
oil's a little.
Oil, if you trade like DXY, like the dollar, there's no definite trend, but it's still giving you the setup. You still see accumulation, right? Boom, liquidity, sweep, break above right here, retest. Like you can still take those trades. And then if you see distribution like we have over here, right, distribution, boom, right, we did get some sell-offs. So when it comes to like something like that, you gotta just take both, right? This one USDs are gone, uptrend. This one uptrending. That's the peso. Yeah, pesos. Oh snap! See, I was trying to get in pesos for so long, and I kept getting stopped out. But this thing flew. This is from last February. Look at these markups, fam. Gosh, I was in there deep. Yeah, I got stopped out like right here, and I was like, "Fuck this." I'm not trading no more pairs, but that thing
Mm,
flew.
the pace. So I must start looking at that.
Yeah, it had some good price action. It's definitely clean, but I was really like I should have caught that. I should have paid more attention. But and then Euro USD, it started off uptrending. This is still an uptrend because this is still the original start, and then that's the low, that's the high. So this is we're technically still in the uptrend, even though it came back down. Like we went up.
Guys.
Yeah, it's still uptrending. Like
But this one's a little tricky though, right? Because you could buy, but you may not see the next leg of the trend until like years from now.
I mean, who knows? Who knows? I mean, this is a slow moving, this is Euro USD. It's like it's their currency, but this looks better than the DXY. At least this has some type of structure to it. You know, this was a major shift, but yeah, this is technically still uptrending Euro USD. Let me see, what is this? What's the
So this is bullish on the On the weekly then.
On the weekly. Oh, this is bearish. USD JPY. It started off bearish, but now it's starting to give some accumulation right here. I started off making lower lows, lower highs, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? And then we're finally starting to make some higher highs. We finally started to break some structure, like here, some lower structure down there. So price may be shifting from bearish to bullish, or at least temporarily, it may want to attack some of these areas, distribution, and then continue the downtrend. But as of like this zone here, this is definitely like a good area to be loading up buys. But yeah, this is a bearish for sure. You know, what is this? USD CAD. Yeah, this is also bearish because, you know, high, low. Delete all this. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things to trade, but like if you are gonna trade, I think it would be in like anyone's best interest to trade something that has more of like a definite trend. This is bearish. Bearish as well. Damn. What is this? Oh, M1. Yeah, so I mean, even Tesla is up. Oh, I did call these buys a long time ago too. I remember this. Nasty work. Nasty work. Look at this. Clean. Swept the liquidity from last year. Golly.
Cool, man. Would you ever consider like calling out shares of stock?
Of Tesla?
Yeah, like purchases on like Tesla, Nvidia, Meta.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm not a personal financial advisor, but if you know if your account's looking nice and you've hit like a certain threshold of profit and it looks good to you, just take it. Just take it.
Yeah, hey, actually, I had taken a look at Meta like last week, and I saw the setup. I didn't take it though, but now like this week they just hit all new all-time highs.
Oh, Meta? Let me see. Meta. Sheesh. Gone. Gone. Major break of structure. Look at this. We had distribution. Boom. Boom. Broke beneath. But we clapped that shit. Clapped it. Why? Because it's an uptrend. You know, you could have counter trended traded this. Oh yeah, it's coming to a zone. Yeah. I'm not doing that. But yeah, this is gone as well. So I think the only one that didn't really have a clean trend was like oil. Oil and DXY, but like most pairs, most metals, indices, like most, I would say like 90% of these things have a trend. It's only a very,
Right, the clear trend to the up.
Yeah, up or down,
Upside.
up or down. There's some have downtrends. Like I went over some that had a downtrend. Like this one had a downtrend. USD CAD. So did USD JPY. This GPP JPY. Like all these have downtrends. So I mean, if you're like a heavy, if you love to sell, yeah, sell these. That's a downtrending asset. But don't sell like something that's bullish. You know. But yeah. But I think if that's an edge, I mean, it's just, to me, it just makes sense. It just makes sense. I keep hearing like the trend is your friend, right? I'm gonna stick to that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I thought it was a dope strategy. Just focus on the buys and make life simple.
Yeah, make it simple. Life is already hard enough. We got enough drama to deal with. I'm not gonna make trading another one, you know. But
Right.
yeah. Good. Yeah. Good question.
Man, I want to see that gap get filled. Oh, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, me too. We're actually in this gap, just chilling. But the fact that we broke into the gap so aggressively, amazing full body candle close, even closing above these highs here. Like, I have high hopes that we will continue. Right? It was looking very good. Because coming into this gap, yeah, we sold off initially, you know, this morning 6 a.m. But then we can bounce right back. So it's like, are the sellers really that in control? If we're able to bounce right back, no, they're not. So, but if we would have closed like below some lows, then I would have been a little bit more worried. But we did not even do that. So we are good. We are good. We are good. But yeah.
Would you consider a gap like a slippage or like an imbalance? I meant.
Yeah, it's definitely slippage, and it's also an imbalance. Because some brokers sometimes one broker will have a gap, another broker will have an actual imbalance as well. But these are essentially the same thing. Yeah. Yep. A gap is slippage, it's selling pressure, buying pressure, and it's also an imbalance. So yeah, synonymous. Very synonymous. And let me see. So when it violates a smaller time frame, do you look at a higher time frame to see if it's going to continue, or do you stay out of the market until you see structure again? Example. Yeah. So if a trade gets, let's say if for instance, let's look here. Let's go to the 4 hour. Anytime price comes and invalidates your zone, like on a lower time frame, always go up a time frame and see if that's true invalidation. And see if it's is it an actual full body candle or is it a wick? I want to find an example where price came to like a stop loss, but then it was still being respected. Let me see.
I was asking when you said you were looking for the sells, but then you said you went for the buys, and then your buys got clapped.
Oh yeah, right here. This was the area. Like if I were buying this, we broke the structure, right? Sales would have been, the stop loss would have been here. Would have been like, oh, okay, bet. So, technically, like none of that would have happened yet, right? If this is all I saw, which is at the time I did, I'm like, oh, we're buying. It looks super clean. We broke this structure. And then, unfortunately, price came back. It came back down, and it literally clapped this whole thing on this time frame. So let me get out of this real quick. If this is the daily time frame, this got clapped with full body candles. Let's go to the weekly. On the weekly, let me see, it just keeps disappearing. Let me put this on all time frames now. Let's go to the weekly. We see that on the weekly, it was just a wick. Right, but I just could not handle this drawdown, bro. I was like, yeah, like the weekly is I just couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it. But usually it doesn't go that deep. But if it's this deep, just get out, bro. You get out and find some more structure. But usually, like the wick is a super small wick. It'll barely wick it and then continue. Right, but this was different. This was different. Let me see. Is there another example somewhere else? Like, let's say, like for this before the pandemic. This is the whole pandemic drop. You would have had this marked up as one of your entries, maybe. There's lower ones too. Like this was for sure an entry, right there. And I started trading, like right here. That's when I started learning how to trade. So I'm over here. Yeah, I'm learning how to trade. A live account clapped. First week, boom. I was like, oh shit. Yeah, I don't know if this is for me. But this same thing here, like stop loss would have been here. This is your accumulation. You had liquidity built up, sweep, broke above, retest, boom, retest again. So in this situation, I would have definitely held because price barely even swept beneath and then closed right back in there. So that's a prime example.
All right, thank you.
And on the monthly, you see it's just a wick. All price did, we swept the previous monthly low. All right, that's a low as well. We swept this low here. All right, so we swept a couple months worth of lows or liquidity and then continued. All right, that's all the pandemic did. It dropped prices low enough. Like the pandemic was news that was used to allow price to just hit higher time frame zones. That's it. The pandemic was used
Man,
for these indices to just sweep the lows and continue.
the biggest discount of like the last 10 years, possibly.
Yes, bro. Like, I don't think price will ever come back here. This shit is gone. This shit is gone, bro. Like, if I knew what I knew today, back here, bro. NAS is at 6,000, 7,000, bro. My goodness, I would be up like 100 0.01s.
You'd be 3 years deep on swing trade.
Bro, I'd be holding still. I don't care. Still. But it's all
That's
good.
like your retirement, man.
It is. This shit is my retirement fund. I don't have 401k and shit. This is my 401k. I am the 401k.
So I am.
Yeah. But yeah, man, that's that. That's that. What's up? I see my guy Marty's in here. What's good? Marty's in here. Luis. Yusuf. Shout out to my boy Yusuf, YB Trace. He's the one who got me into this shit. You know? So yeah, man, check this out. I'm over here shook. I saw this graph. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. This looks way too confusing. Now I'm over here a crackhead. He made me into a crackhead. It's crazy. Crazy work. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But yeah, I hope you guys got some value out of that. Guys have any questions? I know. Look at it now. Crazy how times can change like that. But yeah, super clean. I'll be updating you guys as much as possible in the chat with any changes that happen with this gap here. This is what we're gonna be focused on for until they want to break through or maybe sell off again. Who knows? But we'll see. My brother, yes sir. Stay blessed, stay abundant, enjoy y'all's